Well, what a story it was when the two Bradfords came through all those weeks ago. Young Cohen has since had a shade change in the hair. Going through his David Beckham era. He's big time now with his highlights. His opening cut break is dry, and he'll bring the two Irishmen to the table. Great to see Cohen back with us, and we'll talk more about him when he's in play later on in this match. If you are new around here, this is the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. We don't have many pairs still standing, just 13 in total, in fact. 4 here tonight. One of them will make the final 4. It's an exciting night to come. All the pairs play each other. Top of the group at the end of the night will go through, playing English 8-ball, international 8-ball rules. Big cover set, like the Irish guys have done here, which is yellows. You pot your yellows, pot your 8-ball, you win the frame. 4 of those will win you the match. And points mean prizes. If you can get to the top of the group, come the end of the night, you're in the final 4. And when we talk about anything can happen on these nights, it does extend into the finals night as well. There's a slight change of format, but we do see crazy things happen pretty regularly. It's a question to see who will join, as who qualified from last week.
And it will be against
pretty
them,
box office pairing as well. Chris Melling and Tom Ford.
I think one thing you'd say, and the players tonight won't say it, but secretly they'll think it. Oh, that's a poor miss from Sean. It's a poor miss because definitely there was no benefit to try and nip it on the straight. If he gets behind the other yellow, it's better. So it's a poor one from Sean to start the night. But I think all 4 of these pairs, if you were offered them, which group do you want to be in the second stage of the competition, this is the one. You know, out of all 4 second stage groups, this is the most wide open. Doesn't have your Tom Ford and your Chris Mellings, or your Tom Cousins and your Shane Thompsons, or your Chippy and Carl Suttons. You know, it feels like there's more achievable tonight than any other group.
Yeah, that group last week, for example, was an absolute minefield. Chris Melling and Tom Ford might have come through, but you know, some brilliant players in that group that they had to tiptoe around.
Actually, last week is a prime example of you never know what's going to happen, because we were expecting fireworks, and in the end they were through with the match to spare. It all came a little bit easy in the end. But
That's
tonight,
an excellent shot.
Tonight I can't see it. I just think it's going to be really tight.
So Cohen at the table.
So they have a chance here. They're going to play red off the cushion, off the yellow, and that will open up 2 reds. Who's going to get Cohen behind it to play it with the one nearest the left centre pocket? Could have done with being 6 inches further left, just so that you can then stun out. It looks like this is a fairly straight shot, and they'll be playing on the one on the right hand side next. No, he's still able to pull it back and get across, but no, that's okay. That's worked out really, really well. Good shot.
Yeah, you will take that all day long. Left it a little bit to luck with the pace that shot was played at. But if Paul can stick this one, then they were in business. Oh, what a fluke.
Oh dear.
What a tremendous fluke. Cohen, it's always trying not to giggle out there. That is an absolute sickener for Doyle and Sharkey. It's an absolutely spectacular fluke though for Paul Bradford.
Yeah, and I was thinking when Paul was queuing that one up that, as we see, he was on that ball there, but I think Paul's under so much pressure tonight. I really do feel for him, because I don't think Paul has too many aspirations to be a top player. He understands where he is, he enjoys the game, he loves the game, but he knows that his son is tracking to be a top player, and he doesn't want to let him down. So he's really going to be under it.
And here's the fluke, as Paul just missed that red to the bottom. I mean, that's pretty special, isn't it? Huge let-off for Ben. Sean here though, with the second miss from Paul. This one doesn't end up in a fluke red dropping in, and Bradford Senior there cannot believe what he's just done. The second one was actually I mean, they were both pretty cardinal sins, essentially, but the second one in particular he'll be livid at. First one you can definitely forgive on the first match of a big night.
He's got to be cued in, isn't it? And, you know, as I say, I think he's under probably more pressure than any player in the second stage for, you know, probably because of, you know, what he's trying to do with his son. But the second one was definitely forced by the first one, if you like. You know, the guilt that's going through you, and the fact that he knows he missed and he got lucky. It's tough, really, and it's going to cost him.
Yellow absolutely thumped in by Sean Sharkey to leave Ben Doyle in the plumb position for that 8 ball. It's going to make them go 1-0 in front.
Should be. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing quite quickly as well, Paul, which is probably, you see it sometimes. He's almost
let this one go.
Oh, he has.
Just had that little bit of angle. You know, straight in was going to be a little bit easier, but it's one of those that you got to understand the natural. Are you floating it in? Are you hitting the yellow, or do you have to widen it? And if you have to widen it, maybe you had to use the side cushion. So it only takes one mistake, and all of a sudden your chance goes in a frame.
He's got a little bit of insurance. In fact, he gets to play this next shot. It's not like he's scratched and come to the table. What can he do with this 8 ball? Can he get it tracking towards a pocket? Can he? He could. So is the cue ball. In the end, everything stays up.
It's not terrible. It's not the worst result that you could have had here. Thought he was going to pop the cue ball for a second. Okay, there's a safety shot on for Ben, but if he plays safe off the one on the right-hand side, he might leave a one cushion up and down. And if Paul just gets the 8 ball over that pocket, he's putting so much pressure onto Ben. So I think he might get half a chance here to do something pretty special.
I'm surprised to see Sean Sharkey up as part of the consultation. That is a bold as brass shot from Ben Doyle.
I love the choice because of exactly what I said. If you play safe off that ball and you leave the one cushion, you'd expect Paul to hit it, and that puts you under more pressure. Played the double in such a way that he wasn't leaving it easy as a cut down the cushion, and now he can go and win the frame.
Yeah, there is still, mind, a little bit of work to do at the top of the table. He's trusting a little to luck here, and he's not come out nice.
No, he's
he
not.
does have the safety advantage. He should just be able to tuck in behind these yellows.
I actually think he might have to be careful not to leave an impossible snooker here. He needs to make sure there's a gap to get out. Yeah, that's okay. There's definitely a gap, so that's fine.
Said that it may not be impossible in nature, but this is pretty tough.
I think he might have to use the jaws, and with the new Rasson Apollo, I don't know how these jaws react.
Well, let's find out. Wasn't bad efforts at all. Didn't foul, and he's left a tough enough finish here. These yellows are far from easy. You can cut the one to the top left. Cue ball is running. Ben Doyle is he's really having to work for his finish here. You'll feel like pretty much everything's gone against him in this frame, apart from the fact that he's actually been at the table. Other than that, nothing really has gone that right for him. Brave shot. Executes it well.
Problem is, and with both the safety shots he's just played, he hasn't opened up the yellows.
Yeah, so should Paul hit this and leave the cue ball not directly on the yellow, he's going to have the same problem again. And he is going to have a very similar problem. That yellow once again cuts, but again the cue ball is very, very tough to judge to land on your next 2. And the safety's harder from here.
Might play the long double, dead weight, because you've got a good chance to block the pocket if it doesn't land. If it does land, then you're going to win the frame off it. Safety's just as hard as a long double for me. He's got this one wildly wrong.
Is he going to cover it? He is. Second prize.
Loss of turn shouldn't be too difficult though, and he's not going to leave a yellow on if he plays the loss of turn.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's quite a dead set plan in terms of the middle of the pocket. So you've got to judge it a little. switch needed making, but he's played that pretty well. He's played that pretty well. And Ben Doyle's, well, hiding places are starting to run out.
He's in a world of trouble here. An absolute world of trouble. Double the yellow that's in the middle of the table off the side cushion, off the 8-ball. Try and move the 8-ball middle of the bottom cushion. We'll get the yellow in front of the 8 like he did last time, but this is so much harder than the last shot. Yeah, he's played a decent shot, but he's left Paul a chance to go and win the frame. Just a touch thinner on that, and it would have knocked the 8-ball more and yellow more over the pocket.
And in it flies for Paul Bradford, who will feel a whole lot better after frame 2 than he did post frame 1. You can see there, you can almost literally see the weight lift off his shoulders.
While the yellow's tied up at the top of the table.
Yeah, he tried to get there underneath the red on that occasion. Which how tough a shot it was. What's he got lined up for us?
He's trying to put the yellow on top of the 8-ball, but you know, to the right-hand side of it. But he hasn't managed it. Sean has one problem ball. Question: can he get on enough side on the yellow by the 8-ball to flick the other one out? I don't think he can.
Yeah, the yellow in the middle of the rail here, which Sean is playing now. This is a big problem ball. Wants that to drop. Oh, now then. Now then. There's a chance. Not an easy one, but there's a chance.
That drops and he takes control of the frame while the red and yellow are tied up at the bottom.
How's your angles? You'll take it, I think.
Yeah, you can get out. You can. If you can pot it now, then great, do it. Use the yellow to hold, but I think it's not on. So you're going to have to go up the table. You might have to just accept this and drop it in and then leave a really thin clip.
There's no easy pots, is there anymore?
Yeah. Now Sean had, this is Sean's first real chance to win the frame.
He's only got 1 minute and 50 seconds to do it. It could be a buzzer beater. The yellow and 8-ball combination is the key to this visit for Sean Sharkey. Needs to land on it well. It all comes down to that. It doesn't really matter what he does beforehand as long as he gets there. It all comes down to landing pretty straight on that yellow.
If he tries to flick the yellow out, this could go wrong. It's gone wrong. Still has a chance.
Minute and 10. Wow.
And that hasn't tied the 8-ball up. Cohen now has a chance. You've got
Has 55 seconds to make 3 balls.
Yeah, you've got to try and make sure you use 30 seconds and make sure you pop 2 balls here. Just got to make sure. And now it's pace control.
You say that, it's very precise pace control that he needs.
That
window is not big.
Yeah, but the line he's going in at, anywhere past the break line, he should be on the 8-ball.
Cue ball.
No.
Cue ball. Sean Sharkey has 23 seconds, cue ball in hand. There is not a whole load of time. The cue ball will be travelling between this yellow and the 8-ball. 10 seconds. Oh, is Cohen Bradford going to get a poke at this? He waits for the clock, the cue ball stops, the 8-ball's in! It is remarkable! Cohen Bradford and Paul Bradford steal the show and win the opening match of the Pairs Cup. It might be the biggest swindle we've ever seen.
I think the referee are going to want to have a look at this. This is incredibly tight on a few ends.
Yeah, loads going on off the pool table for these two, but nice to see them back on it as a pairing as well. Deej and Danny played beautifully in qualifying for the last 16, and they need to find that form again. I'd love to start with a successful break, but alas. Josh Kane and Callum Singleton then will get first poke at these. And the one thing that these guys all have in common is they all had to watch what happened in match number 1. And the players in match number 2, they definitely keep an eye on things out there in the first game. Just, players can always determine a little bit from the table's playing and all the rest of it. Just like to keep their eye in. What it does also do is it serves as a reminder of how bonkers this game can go very, very quickly.
Yeah, I completely agree. They also, the other thing they've got coming in, both pairs had to come through 6 red shootouts to make it here as well. It's not easy making it through these rounds, winning the Pairs Cup. Pretty good chance this for Callum and Josh. Just kind of, I know what their last ball's going to be. They just got to figure out the one that's by the cue now and kind of almost work their way around. So onto the cushion now, then use the one in the open to come down the table, and just anything straight or right-hand side is straight and you're fine. It should be fairly simple for them to get out. Touch short. You get to the cushion there, you can just control it a little bit more, though you do want enough angle to get off the cushion. Not being on the cushion would hamper them on the neck. So just a little bit of a stretch and touchy shot for Callum. Don't want to go past the straight here. He has got to the straight, maybe touch past it. Might just have to accept distance here, just pull it back and be half a turn left of the cue ball. And that's the perfect line for that last red. If you try and come on and off, then you risk getting a bad angle. Yeah, that's the right decision.
Very tidy. One 0 to Kane and Singleton. An excellent start.
I mean, that you're absolutely right. He beat Declan Brennan in the quarterfinals, playing brilliantly, and he beat Stevie Dempsey, playing brilliantly in a brilliant match, and then didn't turn up in the final. Let's take nothing away from Clayton Castaldi, who played brilliantly himself, but Josh just will tell you he didn't turn up.
Well, while we were looking at Deej there, you didn't need to know what was happening on the table to know what had happened. You just knew it from Deej's face. Look how good that break is. How has the cue ball ended up in off from there is unbelievable to me.
It's heartbreaking.
Stopped in his tracks. Yeah.
Look what he's
brutal.
left Callum as well. Look what he's left Callum, an absolute roadmap here. This is well 3-0 in the next minute. I mean, how do we make a case for Callum going wrong here?
Could genuinely take either colour set, I think, be in the shed in 60 seconds time pretty comfortably. And these are the painful ones, especially at 2-0 down, because the difference between 2-1 and 3-0 in a race to 4 is pretty big. And what's even more painful for Dave is he's done absolutely nothing wrong. The break was hit genuinely about as well as you can hit them. Look at the split he's left as well. He's desperately unlucky. Gone in off the way that he did. Not just to avoid him having a chance in this frame, but to leave what he's left. I mean, it is nigh impossible to imagine anything other than 3-0 right now.
Almost as bad as a golden duck.
Yeah. You could say worse because it takes more time out the clock for the comeback.
The only thing Callum has just left too much angle here. That's why he took his time on the previous shot and realised he didn't have much else that he could do, which means he's now got a little bit too much angle here. It really shouldn't cause an issue. He might nip the one he's nearest to in here just to keep it a little bit simpler. But drop the one in the centre pocket and you've got 3/4 ball, half ball angle, something like that. He was able to pull it back. I thought he was going to be hampered queuing. It's all pretty smooth out there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Tough school for Dave McNamara, but Kane and Singleton is not one to turn down a gift like that. A wry smile from the pair of them. They know exactly what's happened there. They know the score. The conditions in which something you might experience on your league nights.
Try to do it with a cue ball rather than a red, but the first error.
Dave comes to the table and says, "Oh, we're getting a shot then, yeah?" So they are. Yeah, it was a clever idea, and the execution is missed out by a lick of paint, really. Look at this for a first shot. Oh, how about that for Dave McNamara? Welcome to the party, boys.
Yeah, Deej is right up there in terms of doubles, shot making.
That's your first shot to come and play it 3-0 down. You've not had a shot in open table, and that's your first one. And it's a double combo. Love that. Deej making a concerted effort tonight to play with a smile on his face.
Need this cannon to go right. Don't want to make both balls. They're okay.
Perfect.
They're okay.
Oh, what a really impressive frame to string together for these two, based on what went on before. Super counter clearance. McNamara and Balshaw, who are back in the game at 3-1. Break to come, it will be Deej's. And if he can produce what he did first time around, I cannot believe Deej has chosen to go to the cut break after what happened in the first one. May just have been wanting to get the 8-ball in motion as he remonstrates with the table for not rewarding him with the ball.
I'm with you though. He hit the first break so incredibly well, left an absolute roadmap finish, and he was very unlucky for the cue ball to go in. You've got to hit the same break again, haven't you? 6 minutes on the clock. You don't need the golden break. You needed a break clearance. Maybe an error in judgment that.
These are the sorts of finishes that Josh takes out very well when he's playing very well. So precise with his cue ball, which got great patterns.
I think he'll go for the plant here to right centre. Just got to be careful to make sure he doesn't snooker himself on the yellow to bottom left, and the yellow that he's playing doesn't go up against the cushion. Maybe not. He's looking for other options, so he doesn't like it. He's done well. You can see how he potted that into the right-hand side of the pocket as he was looking, which means that the yellow he was playing went up the table, whereas if he makes it centre pocket or the other way, that yellow goes towards the right side.
He does play such a precise game. His margin for error usually tends to be pretty small, hence the upset. Doesn't quite hit his own high personal standards. He used to play with such a minuscule tip on his cue, Josh Kane. He's gone up in size to something a bit more regulation. He used to play with just shy of a 7mm tip, which is, I mean, an HB pencil.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone plays with a tip that small. Honestly, I think
He was very good with it.
he was very good with it. It's incredibly hard. No margin for error. Should be out here. They work these so well.
Yeah, super finish this for Josh Kane. Just does this sort of finish really well when he's on it. Such a dangerous player at his best, Josh Kane. Callum Singleton begin their assault on the final four with victory over Dave McNamara and Danny Balshaw, who will be up next. And they are in a win-or-go-home encounter with Ben Doyle and Sean Sharkey as Kane and Singleton climb to the top of the table. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. It's the last 16. It's the second group of 4. Ben Doyle's big break to get us back underway. And it is a big break. Right on cue, Sean Sharkey rocks up to the table. This is a crucial matchup. The first of 2 very, very big encounters. It's the second round of fixtures of 3. The 4 pairs will play each other, remember, in tonight's matches.
Yeah, we haven't really thought about or talked about how they'll be feeling after what happened in the opening match. I mean, they could have, with 10 seconds to go, they had a chance to win the match, and then they had the draw, and then they had the defeat. It was very tough for them to take. We talk about this every week. They just have to forget about what's gone. If they win their next 2 matches, they are a very, very real chance for a 6-red shootout.
This match can no longer qualify. That's what makes it just so important.
Going about this one nicely. Only question for me is the 8 ball going if they're taking top right last ball, which I sort of feel like is likely from where they are now. Just don't like it as last ball if the 8 ball doesn't go down the table. But then if they have to get across for it now, then where they're going afterwards, it's just not. It looks easy, that ball on the top right, but that's the one that is really the cause for concern. Well, there you go. He just told you what the plan is. Bottom left, top
players do.
Yeah. Top, bottom left, top right, left centre, 8 ball bottom right. They're not going to get there.
Best laid plans and all that. See what Danny thinks of that missed pot.
That yellow above the right centre pocket is still horrible here. One of the worst spots on the table. If that doesn't drop in the middle, and it really doesn't look like it does, then it is horrible. They were going to try and move it there, but could have gone left centre and off the top cushion into it. The way they've gone about this sort of makes me feel like maybe it drops in the centre, but because if you go into it from the yellow they're talking about, as in this one, you're knocking it up the table, and there's a red blocking it to top right. So the yellow must go in the centre the way they've gone about this finish.
Well, they're going into it hard.
Or they're playing it down the table.
How would you like these?
But these are, yeah, really, really tough. He is taking it in the centre. And you see it's just off the cushion, so it made all the difference. The camera angle we had looked like it was welded to the cushion.
Well, 1-0 to the Irish. Big beginning. Sharkey and Doyle.
Because of being 3-0 with only 3:34 on the clock.
Yeah, they really need 4 frames. Draw isn't much use. Oh, it was tracking. Made a ball though, but look at this leave. Yeah, you can sympathise. They've just got to throw their arms at this, really.
Yeah, got no choice. I mean, if this was an untimed match, we'd be telling you that they've got to pull back and play safe, but you don't have that choice here at 3 minutes left. So throw your arm at it, which they did, and things ended quickly.
On the reverse of that call, though, Ben Doyle and Sean Sharkey, you absolutely have no intention of going here. You want to make this as ugly, as fiddly as possible.
Yeah, use
See it out.
Use 30 seconds to play a nothing shot. That's what you want to do there. Exactly what they've done.
Pretty good pot from Dave McNamara. Is he going to get a bit of run? No. Might be able to keep digging. Yeah, I don't know if the 8 ball might be an option. Be a bit too high in the pocket, actually. Just gives it good old-fashioned hit and hope, I think, there.
Got to open things up, haven't you? Hope you get back to the table. And even with that, there's just no way back, is there?
Tough one for the boys tonight. Did absolutely nothing wrong in going 3-0 down to Josh Kane and Callum Singleton, and couldn't turn the tide. Like 1 frame in that match, played it flawlessly and lost 4-1. But this is the match that they'll feel that they got away from them. That's a proper hit and hope, and it's come off for Dave McNamara. How about that?
I have no idea what happened there. None whatsoever.
Could not tell you. But all of a sudden, it's opened up for them. And he's actually played a really loose shot there. He's only on a 3-ball plant here. But it's still open. And whilst they can get this out of the way with still a minute left on the clock, it just keeps Ben and Sean honest.
Danny short again. Had to get to straight in there.
Oh, 8 ball.
How about that for a shot from
That
Peach?
is some positional shot from Dave McNamara. It really is.
That's pretty special.
Well, they're going to keep him honest. 3-1. Cue ball stops. 54 seconds remaining. Yeah, you won't see Ben Doyle ever cut break. Why would you?
Just look at it. Honestly, I'd love to just play 1 tournament with that. Just 1. It's ridiculous.
Fool yourself, you can play.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still lose, but I'd lose in style.
Well, naturally, Ben Doyle makes a ball, and he only needs to make maybe 1 more hit, and that will be that. Big win then for Ben and Sean. They needed that. Keeps them alive. They've got the an enviable task of facing Callum and Josh in the final round of fixtures. And a win in that match, whatever it may happen, would result in a 6-red shootout as the towel comes in from the blue corner. And that result is confirmed. Ben Doyle and Sean Sharkey stay alive. Balshaw and McNamara eliminated. Welcome back to the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. Josh Killer Kane breaks off. Nails a ball, nails a couple. This fixture crucial. If the last one was big, as it saw an elimination, the first of the night, this one arguably even bigger. The winner of this needs just a draw to secure passage through to the final 4 from their final game of the evening.
Decisions to make here. It was a good break, and you're thinking it's going to be a good layout, but it's not really, but it's one they're going to take on. Not sure if that was played or he was trying to move the 8 ball. I think he was playing the cannon because he couldn't hold and he didn't want to leave it alone at the bottom of the table. So he could have played the cannon the 8 ball there as well. Going to pull back. Decided they've weighed up all the options and they've decided that there's no point chasing here. Mentally, that's very strong. It's so easy to get in there and get sucked into believing you can clear from anywhere and you're going to chase, but when you chase an odds against finish, it's like it says, you're going to lose more than you win. It's not the time to do it. Callum will try and do the same again here. Try and just keep that yellow on the table, cue ball next to it. It's not easy to play good safety from here. Do you want to tease them to try and go for balls at the top of the table? Maybe take it on with an awkward 8 ball? Do you want to try and put them in a tough spot? I don't see where there is that tough spot. It's not really one you even want to think about going yourself. You could clip in the red left centre and try, but there's no future in that. It's not a bad result. Not what they're playing, obviously.
That shot just opened things up on reds.
Can they play the losser turn down the table and hide the white at the same time? Not sure they gain any benefit from playing that. Didn't get the loss of turn. Done too much damage. Get to the right hand side of the red, the yellow above the red goes comfortably. So they deal with this. They're still going to have the problem with the 8 ball that they would have had all the way at the start, which felt like the reason they pulled back initially. Worst angle to just top off the bottom cushion and track towards the right hand side. Also, as you saw Callum there pointing, can play the double as well. Big pocket double as well. In the end they decide to play on it, I think. They're a little bit short. Maybe he played for the double, difficult to tell. Can still back double this, but if you're playing for the double, you'd like to have stopped a little bit short of this, not by much, just a touch. was an interesting layout, really. Obviously, seeing them miss the double kind of takes you back to their opening decision not to go. And nothing changed from their decision not to go originally to when they eventually decided to go, other than quite a few more minutes have been taken off the clock. And
still remained as difficult, as your point.
Yeah, and it's a case of, now I'm okay with the decision not to go for it originally, but all they've managed to do now is run more clock down, and therefore, and they are going to be the stronger pairing here, you know. So you want the match to have as many frames in it as possible. Shortening the match up is better for Paul and Cohen. Disappointing miss for Paul. Not an easy 8-ball, but got a chance. Really, really difficult combination shot. I'll cut it down the bottom of the table.
It was a difficult combo. It was a difficult combo. See it perfectly from the overhead camera here. Just he wasn't quite straight. The margin for error on that shot is so small. Basically need to hit the two balls together completely in line.
I think Paul needs to cut the other one in top left. So he's obviously taken that one there, but he was on the one to top left that's been left with an angle to play into the red. I just think the benefit for doing that whilst there's a red over top right was well worth the risk. Because now he's in a danger of putting his dad into the position to have to cue one down the cushion, and of course that's not what he wants to do.
Just has to watch the middle pocket here as well. And you can see he's deliberately avoided that, but to your point,
yeah, I think two things here. You've either got to work it so that Cohen plays this shot, so get there earlier, or you try to break it out. But all credit to Paul, he's knocked it in. That's a massive moment for Paul, because he's missed 3 balls far easier than that today. That was fantastic.
Big moment for the Bradfords, and they go 1-0 in front of the group favourites. It's been the case that Cohen had the chance to win the frame, but we'll never know. Kane and Singleton now needs to find something for his partnership. Cracking break, 8 ball is flying. Makes a ball, makes a couple. One thing to do on both colour sets.
Josh is acting like he's about to play. I hope he doesn't think this is the Scotch frame. This is very much Callum's individual frame here, but Josh looks like he's about to get down and play, which would be a disaster.
Josh plays, it's lost a frame. And no one can tell them.
Yeah, they've got themselves in a mess here.
Oh dear.
No. Oh dear, and yeah, Paul knew immediately.
Well, can you believe it? Josh and Callum see the funny side.
Oh dear.
Well, my apologies. I said it'd be loss of frame. It's just standard foul, I'm being told. Yeah, a little slap on the wrist there. Sorry to get too excited. But it may as well be, it feels like, because with 3 minutes left, the Bradfords don't necessarily have to win this frame. They just need to keep them off the table. They'll use every second to do that, as you just saw.
I don't think Paul should be playing here. I think he just has to pull back. He can't run the clock down enough by potting the 2 open balls. It's a really good shot. If he wants to go aggressive here, he's on the plant with an angle to break out the other one, but I just don't think that's the right play when you're 2-0 up and 2 minutes 30 left.
Yeah, it's make it miserable here, though.
I wouldn't play safe off this one either. I'll play safe the other way. That's all right, didn't move anything, but Callum will move it. Same thing, just that yellow's still not open, so just keep playing safe.
Pretty good.
Nothing changes for Paul. Same again.
Absolutely.
Same area of the table, do it again. Don't play the one where the yellow is. Do not play the one with the yellow. Don't open it up. Don't open it up. That's a poor shot. There's just no need to move that. Just play the other red. It's just, you just gifted Callum a chance to win the frame.
And he is not going to turn it down. Just needs an angle on this last yellow. Has one. Wow. It's only caused by rushing, ultimately. He may well get another look at this because Paul doesn't have a pot on, and it's almost impossible to hide the cue ball here. Oh, he could cut that back. My apologies. Stay in my lane. That was a great shot.
That was excellent. You might as well play this one down the cushion as well. Then there is still no safety. Just make sure you play it on the beeps. Oh, that red's gone perfect for him. He can't play the plan. What a touch.
Well, it's all gone wrong for Josh Kane and Callum Singleton. They do have a win to their name. They're not out of this night just yet. But for Paul and Cohen Bradford, is the fairy tale continuing? What an extraordinary match. 2-0 does not even begin to tell the story. 3 hugely dramatic frames, and it's Paul and Cohen Bradford who get the victory as the clock strikes midnight. They are 1 match away from a spot in the final 4. Josh Kane and Callum Singleton hanging on by a thread. They're in action next. Here we go then. Penultimate match of the evening. Both these two teams still alive. But just total miss hit on the break for Josh Kane. He's not going to be rewarded with the ball. And it just feels like the wheels are coming off slightly for Callum and Josh here.
They played so well in the opening match before finishes off the break to win that one 4-1, and that last match was a bit of a car crash from their perspective. But take nothing away from the Bradfords and the way they played.
Nothing can be taken away from the Bradfords, that is for sure. How long until something else daft happens in this most topsy-turvy of Pairs Cup groups?
It's worth pointing out that the result we had in that previous match hurt Ben Doyle and Sharkey as well. They really wanted Josh and Callum to win that one, because then it put it back in their own hands in terms of this would then be the final match of the night, and if they were to win it, then they would be in the six red shootout, whether that be a 2-way or a 3-way. Now they need to win this and hope for help from Danny and Deej. Both pairs do.
Yeah, the only way either of these two pairs qualify is if Danny Balshort and Dave McNamara plan to win the Bradfords in the final match of the night. And Sean Sharkey's played a bad shot there. Completely hooked on these reds to the top of the table. Well, what a thank you.
Well, it's time for Josh and Callum to get themselves going again here, get themselves back into some sort of rhythm. Just trying to make their mind up which way round to go here. There's no any major problems. There's nothing that needs to be broken out. And It's just 2 or 3 really good positional shots to make this nice and simple. Quite a nice shot that from Callum. I'm not sure that was the original plan. Josh may have left it a touch too wide and he's had to use the small gap. He did want to get rid of this yellow on the right hand side. He may well have actually worked it out to be exactly what's happened, because it was the perfect gap to leave the perfect angle. This has been a beautiful finish, it really has. Absolutely prime all the way through.
Yeah, and that should, emphasis on the should, just settle Josh and Callum back down. It's not over for them tonight. Belter. That is a cracking break. I'm not sure he has been rewarded at all. His cue ball is jammed up. Deserved so much more of this.
Yeah, I just wonder whether he can clip the red at the top in. If he can't, then there's nothing on.
How unlucky is that? Safety's particularly easy. He's always going to leave something. It's pretty unavoidable, really.
I think he felt that if he played safe off the red and yellow on the right hand side, he'd leave the one he was playing, so that's why he played that down the table. There's a lot of pressure on that pot, not easy. Hasn't left a red on though. Callum will want to be reds.
Yeah, 100%. To do here. Doesn't have anything to do with it. And what he has done there is make reds and yellows about equal.
Yeah, he's left a red on, but dealt made a red on the right hand side a lot more of a problem. So yeah, good thinking that from Callum.
No surprise to see Sean take the aggressive option. He's not been at his best tonight, Doyle and Sharkey, and given the opportunity here, I think he's just itching to get his hand on the table and take a finish on and take a finish out, but he's not going to get further than that red, which was a very, very tricky shot, it should be added. But I think he played it with a degree of playing it early,
yeah,
and almost with, well, if this really difficult shot doesn't go my way, what am I leaving? And right now, he's leaving the reds in a better situation than the yellows. He's asking Kane Singleton a question.
Yeah, I think that's a sensible pull from Sean Sharkey.
If the red flies in, well, happy days. What's Kane do about the yellow at the top right? Ball's around it.
Got too much angle to play into it here. The other one right centre. I think the natural's going up towards the yellow that's sort of between his ball and the cluster. or he could go to one side of it.
That's pretty tough.
It's going to be really hard to get the ball out coming this way.
Yeah. It's asking a huge amount.
Yeah.
Don's not finished for Doyle and Sharkey. And the one thing you would just want to say, I'd like to add, a draw eliminates everyone and would qualify Paul and Cohen Bradford.
We saw the same thing happen last week, and yeah, I know exactly what they'll be thinking where they are. They want that to happen.
6.5 minutes left. It's absolutely not out of the question. Sharkey gets the job done. 2-1.
We've had many amazing ones, but it would be something very, very special.
So they seek to become the second father-son duo to make finals night. Is that right?
No, he's made a ball.
No, made a ball.
Yeah.
One thing you do notice, and it's a niche thing, this, and it's something I've noticed the players have picked up on as well. You can't just rely on your ears to know when a ball's gone down anymore. You've actually really got to pay attention. Something that noticed instantly, started using these tables, I think a few of the players did as well. They'd break off, turn around to get their playing cue, and they'd come back to the table and they'd have to count the balls to see if they actually made one.
It still makes a little noise, but not as much as it used to. Yeah, if there's a little bit of noise around, then you can absolutely lose it out there. But with that red, I mean, this match is done now that he's winning ball, because he's just going to use the beeps, pot 2 or 3 more balls, if that.
Well, Josh Kane and Callum Singleton came through their initial group via a 6-red shootout, and if they are to qualify tonight, that is what they're hoping for again. No guarantees. They need a favour from Danny Balshaw and Dave McNamara. But if the two boys from Merseyside can secure the win against the Bradfords, then Josh Kane and Callum Singleton will be lying in wait. Doyle Sharkey and Ben Doyle's Pairs Cup run comes to an end, but Josh Kane and Callum Singleton stay alive for now. Can Paul and Cohen Bradford get the job done when we return? Welcome back. It's the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. 20 minutes stand between Paul and Cohen Bradford from securing one of the nights of their lives. He makes a ball with his first break to Dad. 15-year-old son to the table. Reminder, a draw or a victory for Paul and Cohen here, and they are through. If Danny and Dave win, it would be a 6-red shootout between the Bradfords, Josh Kane and Callum Singleton. JSRB qualifies for the final 4.
What they're doing in this year's Pairs Cup is utterly ridiculous. This is their 6th match, and they've won 5 against some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, it's a serious run, this. Yeah, I can see you've got the match.
I've got them in front of me.
Let's indulge ourselves here.
And they're coming through. They're the only pair tonight that won all 3 coming through. They beat Dayan Gretsch and Ryan Pisani, Vic Mack and Vivek Mack, who obviously was a father and son duo that made the finals a couple of years back, and then the big one of the night, which was Declan Brennan and the world champion Ronan McCarthy. And then obviously the 2 matches they won tonight. I mean, that's a staggering list of match wins they've had to put themselves in this position, to put themselves in with a chance of playing Tom Ford and Chris Melling. For a second there I thought Cohen had potted the 8 ball, but it is a poor miss, and they hand the table over. Let's not get too carried away until they're there, but I think what we're witnessing is something pretty special. And to me, Stephen, this is so different to what we saw with Viv and Vivek. Obviously Vivek's a professional, and Vic is a very, very good challenger player and an international player, and has been for a long time. You know, they're both very good players. This is, you know, this is Sort of almost a local player playing with his son because his son's, rising through the ranks. This is something so different and so special.
Oh, well. Cohen made a mistake. Stowe 2 does Dave McNamara. In off. He'll be thinking, how on earth have I scratched from there? And I'm with him.
Yeah, it's hard to do. Can they play the red off the yellow? Open up the 8 ball. I'm not sure if they can play it firm enough. I think it would throw the red wide if they play it firm enough to get the yellow out the way of the red on the cushion. Yeah, they played it thin. It's not bad. Not bad. Could have come out better. Also could have come out worse. Can he nip this enough? Just to, a yellow at the top of the table plays big, but you want to get on the one by your hand. Yeah, he decided not to try. I think the yellow was playing too big at the table, but if it could have landed on the one on the cushion there, you're dropping it in for the other one above the 8 ball, and you kind of can get out from there. This is still a major challenge.
Yeah, not half.
Sure it's come back far enough for the double. On the top one, that is, on the one nearest the cushion. So you can double the other one. Not sure that gets you anywhere.
Yeah, you can double the other one. Go on then, Dad. Up to you.
Well, he's looking to see if he drops this in dead weight, and you want to drop it in dead weight because you want to give it every chance to suck it in as you sort of float it across the jaw, whether the 8 ball will be on.
Oh, too hard.
Yeah, it was so challenging. I think if you had to play it firm, you're better off playing it up to the top left or playing the cross double.
It's a good shot for Danny. Well, one ticked off for Danny Balshort and Dave McNamara, and hope maybe still for Josh Kane and Callum Singleton. The kid is very much the A side in this duo. No surprise for me, and I'm pleasantly, well, I'm pleased to see it, should I say, that Cohen's gone to the front ball break. Why would you ever cut break when you can do that?
He's been unlucky though.
That's his first successful break of the night. The first time his front ball broke. Look at that.
I wonder if there are plants available on the yellow at the top of the table.
If it isn't, he's been very unlucky, you're right.
Is there a red on? I'd rather be reds, I think. No, definitely would rather be reds.
Yeah, but you can work with yellows.
You can work with yellows, but you back yourself, just get down and cue the red in bottom right. I mean, that'd be a brave shot. I think you play safe. I think you play safe here. Push a red on, push a yellow on top of the red, and keep the cue on the top cushion. Nah, Cohen's having none of it. That's come out like a dream. If he's on this, the top left, it's come out absolutely perfectly.
I quite like the way that he's played a few of those shots tonight, Cohen, where he it looks almost reckless, but there's a real decision in his mind to go, I don't like this layout, I'm going to re-break it. And it's a similar sort of attitude that we talk about a lot with Tom Cousins, where he goes after his problems so quickly. Cohen does the same thing, and he's maybe less finesse than Tom is, but it's the same idea.
Yeah.
Just, even if it's a case of smashing it open and giving yourself another look, it's still a good way to go about it.
I agree. He's played a brilliant shot there to open everything up. Just going to ask for some balls stuck in the pocket. He's come up a little bit short there, in truth, as Cohen. He wanted to get the other side of the red, and then you can drop it in, and then you've got yellow left centre, and it's all naturals and it's easy. Whereas now he's going to have to work the cue ball just a little bit.
Slight shots play here, he knows it.
And then natural, can you top this with a little bit of top right? Depends whether you're hitting the yellow or not, but if you miss the yellow, then you can just top this through on and off the cushion and get to the same point. It's not far off being on. There you go. Just needed a little bit of side to get to where I was suggesting, but that will work just as well.
That will do.
And
he'd have loved to have come up on the right side of this, but he's still okay.
The only issue is, yeah, exactly that. He's going to have a lot of angle on the last yellow. So you're going to have to probably play a cannon here. You play the cannon, you're pushing it towards the red. It can go wrong.
Yeah. This is a big shot.
Do you go bottom cushion and try and half ball it off the bottom cushion to flick it across? If you stun into it, you could push it onto the red, or you can push it into the pocket. So I think I like using the bottom cushion and doing it that way. That's the way. Just needed that touch more on it.
Trouble.
Big trouble.
Find any way to get this moving towards the pocket, and so much so, Cohen's actually elected to just ask the question.
If he'd got that right behind the red, so he didn't quite get that sort of double kiss that he got, he would have actually had Danny in a little bit of trouble. As it turns out, he's just left it for Danny to mop up here. It's a little bit fortunate the cue ball stayed on the table.
It's very fortunate the cue ball stayed on the table,
because that would have ended the frame.
To be honest, if the red drops, it's not a nice position to have been left. This has actually probably saved Danny a little bit, to be honest with you. Back double?
Back treble.
Oh yeah.
Just thinking that you got the red, you got half a chance for it to do some damage to the red.
Oh, it wasn't far away. It's not in the middle. The cue ball is though, and that will ice the frame. Less than 5 minutes to go. And Callum Singleton and Josh Kane are very much sniffing here. He can smell the opportunity. To rely on Danny and Dave to get the job done for them. It's never an easy position to be in. Danny and Dave so far have lived up to their end of the bargain. You'll have an 8 ball to make. Oh, careful, careful, careful. Ooh. Tell you what, he made that look easier than I thought it might be. Very well executed 8 from Danny Bolshaw. Just don't foul break, and you are fine. Ball's past the centre line, the job is done, and look at the reaction from Paul and Cohen at Bradford. What a result. Father and son are going to the Final Four for the second time in Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup history. But it's the first time we've ever had a teenager go the distance. 15-year-old Cohen Bradford is in the semi-final of the Pairs Cup with his old man, and they're going to take on Chris Melling and Tom Ford in a few weeks' time. What an incredible result for them. Absolutely incredible. The smiles tell it all. We'll hear from them in just a second.